chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Sore Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Good afternoon, Quad Cities. You are listening to, that's why I was so low. You are listening to Don't Hassle Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. We're live in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by the R Bar and Davenport on Utica. In studio with me is Merrick. Merrick, say hi to the Quad Cities.
Hello, Quad Cities. How you doing today?
Good one there. Adrian, say hi to the Quad Cities.
Hi, guys.
We've got, I don't know, guys, we were just going to talk sports. That's what we do, and I'm sure we'll go off on some weird tangent or whatever else. Merrick, you were in the studio on Friday. We talked to the beat reporter, longest tenured beat reporter of the Miami Dolphins, and we started off talking pizza at first.
Yeah, we did 5 minutes of pizza talk.
Sure.
Which I've reflected on that conversation over the weekend, and I'm still firmly in the camp that deep dish pizza is delicious. And flatbread pizza is fine. I will never choose to order flatbread pizza over other options on the menu, but if it's free or if it's the only thing available, I'm fine. I'll eat it. It's okay.
Can I ask you this, though?
Sure.
For the deep dish pizza, which I could care less about, are you prepared to wait the 45 minutes that a deep dish pizza should take to cook?
So I don't want to cook the deep dish pizza. If I'm going to eat the deep dish pizza, I'm going to... The first time I ever had deep dish pizza was the best time I ever had deep dish pizza. It was from Uno's in downtown Chicago, and it was phenomenal. It was like the best pizza I'd ever eaten at the time. And I've had some poor deep dish pizza.
It takes a while to cook a deep dish pizza.
The crust is important because I like the sauce. I love sauce. I love cheese. I love toppings. Right?
Sounds like a pizza to me. Yeah.
But the crust on a deep dish pizza can make or break it. If it's too crackery or flaky or dry, I'm out. I don't want it anymore. I'll eat the rest of it, but I'm not going to eat the crust. And I'm the type of guy who will eat the crust on the pizza. And if you don't eat the crust on the pizza in my presence, I'm offended.
Really?
Because now you are consuming more cheese and sauce and toppings than the rest of us who are eating the crust on the pizza, and that's just rude.
All right, this is going down two directions.
This is rude. This is rude.
Okay, first, let me get to that in a second. The idea of that the people that love deep dish pizza and from this area, and that they maybe go to Chicago or whatever else, and still don't get that it takes a long time to cook a deep dish pizza the right way, are the people that annoy me. So, let's just take, for example, we've got a brand new Wise Guys in Bettendorf, right? And the thing is that they have a deep dish pizza, and it's either, I can't remember, it's on their menu, or they have to tell people, it's going to take 45 minutes, and people are like, what? Oh my God. They're like, no, anywhere that you go, it's going to take time. You should be ready for this. So that annoys me. Now, going as far as the crust goes, idea that it offends you, that any pizza, the crust at the very end.
You have to eat it.
If you use a dipping sauce for it?
Sure.
Where you go without dipping sauce?
No, I can do either way. But I prefer the Papa John's garlic sauce
sure.
that everyone does. That's delicious, and I will dip it in that. But if I'm splitting a pizza with you and you're not eating the crust, meaning you're going for the extra slices quicker, if you're not filling your belly with that crust, you're not playing by the rules.
You feel like you cheated.
Yeah, I'm offended,
I understand now.
And I won't share a pizza with that person ever again.
Ever again. You've made the list. See, I'll eat the crust, but I need a little dipping. I don't care what it is.
Cool. But ranch is fine. Extra marinara.
Sure. I don't really like pizza sauce.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big pizza guy.
All right.
No, it's never have been.
Neither is my daughter. I mean, it's not even
What about the pizza? Do you not like?
I don't know. Taco pizza is about the only pizza I really like.
I love a taco pizza.
I just never really been into it.
So I know people who don't like pizza because they don't like cheese, and I'm like, okay, well if you don't like cheese, you're not going to like pizza. Or some people don't like sauce, and you can kind of. My ex-wife used to press down the pizza, press down on the cheese so the sauce would squirt out the sides, so she could wipe it off with a paper towel so she wouldn't consume the sauce because she didn't like it, and that's why we got divorced.
So if pizza's not your go-to, what's your go-to?
Oh, tacos.
Okay.
Burritos.
I love all food, and I'm in the middle of a diet right now, so this is like we could do 2 hours on food right now because I'm starving.
So what's the go-to for you for burritos
For burritos?
around here?
Oh, Los Primos.
Okay.
Primos got a fantastic burrito.
Fine. I know we got 5.5 minutes and we haven't talked any sports. I'll tell you my pet peeve then. I'll tell you where I'm done.
Okay.
Los Primos, fantastic.
Yeah.
You make me pay for chips and salsa, you're out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll trade you for how great you are. I will trade my time. I'm like, I'm sorry. I like the complimentary chips and salsa. I know that make me sound like cheapskate. I'm not. I'll pay for it. I'll tip. I tip over 20% every time. Listen, but if I go in there and there's no, I'm
I
out.
feel you.
Yeah. So
And now that I've moved to the west at La Flama has really good tacos.
What is
yeah,
that
the spicy
little,
carnitas are
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
what's that little authentic Mexican place in downtown Moline? What's that one called? It's right by my old gym. It's right by the
Very
river.
good things.
I think it starts with a C. Somebody on the Facebook, let us know.
I don't know. I tell you that Los Cabos out there by the Walmart,
Yeah.
and there's one out in Eldridge.
Okay, yes.
The chili relleno? Am I saying that right? Riano. I always say it wrong. It's like there's like certain words I can't say. I can't say that. I can't say that. I had this conversation yesterday, by the way, at the R Bar. Charcuterie. I don't care. And the other one I can't say is that.
Charcuterie.
There you go. And that the Canadian singer Avril Lavigne. I can't say
You can't say Avril Lavigne?
I can't say Avril Lavigne.
That's Crotch's entrance music, and he's loved her
So,
for 20 years.
Chili. Say that. Help me out there. Chili.
Riano.
What?
Riano? Am I saying it right now?
Yeah, Riano. I don't know. Los Cabos.
I don't know
Fantastic.
this one.
They have a
I felt like you said it so well.
fantastic.
I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, I love it.
Chili Relleno?
Riano?
I tell you what, I will say that.
That Cabo
Yeah.
is out by that Walmart, though. Every time I go there, I get free tequila.
Oh yeah, they're great there.
They mess you up.
I
a
know.
little bit.
They
ruin my
are
day
fantastic.
sometimes.
I know. Lunch is not a good time
And
to
then
go
all
there.
of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I just want a day drink now.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Koya's Cafe.
Koya's.
Downtown
Koya's
Moline.
Cafe. Okay.
They have a chilaquile burrito.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
This is a great start to
Oh,
everything.
food's great, man.
I know. Like
Food and
the
sports go together like food and sports.
yeah, and then what's La Rancherita Pico de Gallo? Oh boy,
Rancherita, oh yeah.
that's the stuff right there. I like that's
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my. But this is the thing that sucks. My daughter, who is not really picky about food, is particular about where we go out to eat. So pizza's never on there, and she's not the hugest fan of going to a Mexican place. Those are the two things that my son really likes. So it's a lot of fun when we go through it.
What's your daughter like? Chick-fil-A?
Doesn't mind Chick-fil-A. Actually, her favorite thing to eat is probably mashed potatoes.
When I was a kid, my favorite food was mashed potatoes.
With or without gravy?
Without.
Okay.
She'll take a bowl, but majority of the time, like we made it
A
last
little
night.
butter, maybe?
Yeah. We made it. Yeah, we made it last night. She was like, "Hey, we have potatoes in there. Let's just make mashed potatoes." I'm like, "All right, I'm not gonna argue with you. We'll get out there and go."
Good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Hungry.
Yes, who is hungry? It's lunchtime.
Had a
Anyway,
breakfast burrito. I'm actually pretty good right now.
Nice.
from where?
Oh, where's that place called?
Just
I just left there. I just
making
left
lists. We're making lists of places and where to go eat or whatever else. So,
If
Yeah.
you'd like to sponsor the show.
yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna look it up now. I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So Friday over the weekend, your Dolphins played. Merrick, your Dolphins played the Bears.
Sure did.
Justin Fields looked pretty decent.
In the second half against backups. Yeah, he did.
They're all played against backups. I said this
Those are
yesterday.
professional athletes,
Yes.
sir.
They all played
Leave them
against.
alone.
For the
There's-
next week, yeah.
There's nothing you can do
Then-
but compare him to the other rookies, and they all
they'll
played
go back.
against.
They'll go back to selling insurance after cutdowns. Yeah. No, I don't want to talk garbage, but yes, Justin Fields looked like a very good athlete. He had
Looked
3
better than
series.
Tua.
Yeah, actually, that's not true. Tua played against the starters and was killing it. He did throw an interception at the end of his playing time. So, but Justin Fields had 3 series against the Dolphins starters who were without Xavier Howard, without Byron Jones, without Emmanuel Ogbah, without Jalen Phillips, without Brandon Jones, without at least 6 starters on the Dolphins defense. And Justin Fields went 3 and out 3 separate times with a fumble and a dropped interception. So, just saying. And again, I'm not here to tell you Justin Fields isn't going to be good or that he didn't play well in the second half, because he did. And he looked like a great athlete, which was his calling card all along. But let's see what he can do against an actual starting defense before we crown him the king of Chicago. That's all I'm saying. I think he's going to be good. I do.
There was a question on the Dan Patrick show today that got glossed over really fast. And I thought it was an important one here for Bear fans and everything. Would you rather have a 10-7 Bears Andy Dalton and a playoffs, or 7-10 Justin Fields, no playoffs?
I think that was almost the exact scenario the Dolphins were in last year, right?
No, just about, yeah. I would say
start
that.
Fitzpatrick, and eventually halfway through the season they put Tua in, and I think that was them saying, "Hey, we have a shot at the playoffs. Are we going to win the Super Bowl? Probably not. I think it's more important for us to get our rookie in here, let him take his lumps, so that he'll be better prepared next season, the season after that, the season after that, going forward."
Okay.
And I think Miami chose that, and it did actually happen to work out that they still won 10 games last year, went 10-6, still somehow managed to miss the playoffs because that's the Dolphins' luck. But I think unless you're willing to ride with Andy Dalton for the next 3 or 4 years, which you're not because you just drafted Justin Fields in the first round, I think you choose less wins but more playing time for Fields.
Was that question glossed over real quick because nobody thinks that Dalton's going to go 10-7? So like, why?
Well, it actually started with another quarterback situation, and now I have to think about it. And that's how it's. And they were talking to. It was more about the Patriots. All right. So they were talking to a beat reporter, and they're like, "Would you rather have a 10-7 Patriots team that makes the playoffs with Cam Newton, or a 7-10 with Mac Jones?" And they were saying like the majority of Patriots fans would take 10-7 because that's what they're used to. The beat reporter was like, "I don't think so." He was saying, "I think Mac Jones, they would rather see that because it's what they're used to seeing. They see that they're seeing the future." Now, to your point, Merrick, what you were saying about Tua, it kind of falls in line with what someone like from the GM podcast, Michael Lombardi, who worked with Belichick and other places, would say, you're impeding progress by not letting him get in and take those reps.
And I think there's multiple layers to that, because if you send your rookie quarterback out there and he takes his lumps and he gets better and he progresses well, that's great. That's exactly what you want. But you also get more of an opportunity to evaluate him and find out sooner rather than later if he's going to be your guy. And I'm not saying you're going to replace him after his rookie season, but if he starts 2 games his rookie year, then essentially his second year is his rookie year. So you're losing an entire year of evaluation. And there's new quarterbacks coming into the league every year. And every year, especially if you're a poor team, you're going to have to choose, do we love the one we're with, or do we find his replacement?
Now, what's the difference then what you guys did with the Dolphins last year too with Fitzpatrick? What's the difference in starting him in the middle of the year and at the beginning of the year? I know it's just like 8 weeks, but I mean, is there really that much difference?
So I think the Dolphins' case was a little bit different just because Tua was coming off of that major hip injury, and so he wasn't fully healthy by the start of the season. But I tend to think that if he would have been, if that injury never happened, Tua would have started the season as the starter, because they felt it was more important to get him his reps, get him his experience, than it was to make the playoffs.
No preseason last year either.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
So anyway, going back to when you asked why was it glossed over, because no one thinks it, they just kind of threw it out as an example. Bears fans would probably rather have, because they were saying, as they were saying it, and like I said, the beat reporter corrected them, supposedly, but they said, I would think this, but they said, for example, Bears fans would probably rather have the 7-10 no playoff Justin Fields than a 10-7 Andy Dalton. I still think it's an interesting question. I don't know where it falls on or anything like that. And does 10-7 in guaranteed playoffs, Andy Dalton led, impede progress? Because you have to think there was an entire season that Patrick Mahomes sat on the bench. So does the current semi-good, we made the playoffs but we're not winning the Super Bowl, outweigh the idea of that what's going to happen, or like we're holding things back progress? That's where I'm asking you guys. It's a catch-22.
With the quarterback being, I want to say arguably the most important position on the field, but I don't even think that's an argument anymore in today's game. The quarterback is the most important player on any given team. The development of your most important player should take precedent over anything else. And if that means you lose 2 or 3 extra games and you miss out on the playoffs, what were you going to do when you got to the playoffs anyways? with Andy Dalton as your quarterback.
Well, you got to the playoffs, won 10 games. I mean, you got to imagine if you get to the playoffs winning 10 games, you're probably going to win a game.
Well, how many times has Andy Dalton won a playoff game when he got the Bengals to the playoffs? Because he did quite a few times. And how many games did he win? I'm pretty sure the answer is 0. I don't think Andy Dalton.
The Texans 1 year, possibly.
Maybe that sounds familiar.
It sounds like you're right, but
Possibly.
it's 0 or 1.
Yeah, we can look that up.
Yeah, I don't ever remember being shocked by anything the Bengals did when Andy Dalton was the quarterback there in playoff wise.
But did Andy Dalton really ever have that kind of defense that the Bears have possibly this year?
I felt like the Bengals' defense was solid during the Dalton tenure, and he had good receivers, Chad Johnson and T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Good running. Those were good teams, good coach teams as well. But he was younger, more athletic at the time. He's older now. He's certainly a stopgap quarterback, and this will be Justin Fields' team sooner rather than later, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fields started week 1.
I think Nagy had an interview, was it yesterday or Monday, that he said there's more questions to be asked now, and there's things to be looked at.
So he's changing from 6 weeks ago when he said this is QB1 and that's the plan moving forward.
Yeah.
This guy. There's nothing that annoys me more than that guy. 6 weeks, which would have been at that point 10 weeks out of week 1, saying like this is the plan and we're sticking to it. That's the dumbest thing I could ever imagine. And that's got to be frustrating as a Bears
Well, he
fan.
said last year he thought he lost the locker room because people wanted Trubisky, people wanted Foles, and so like they were kind of going against each other. You know, when they knew it was still quarterback competition, and that he felt like he lost so many people in the locker room that he couldn't say that again this year. So he went that route, not knowing what he was going to have in Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And now that he's out there performing, I mean, yes, you're right against second-team defenses, but he's still got to play the game.
All right. I understand the point that he's making and that you're making, but at least Trubisky was there. Foles, that was Foles' first year last year, right? So that's weird because it comes in, but he's proven himself because he won a Super Bowl. All right. Now you look at last year; they were kind of talking about what was going to happen with the Patriots with Cam, and then who's the other guy? The guy I was champion with. He's not there anymore. Stidham. Yeah. So
he's still there.
I know he's there, and but they were talking about that, and it was said last year the Patriots, the locker room was like they all want Cam because he's a proven winner. Right? Is Andy Dalton really taking over that locker room? I'm sorry. Is Andy Dalton really taking over that locker room? Because that man couldn't motivate me to pick up a $100 bill off the street. Andy Dalton has got nothing on his resume that you're like, oh my goodness, this is what we need.
Has a quarterback with red hair ever won the Super Bowl?
Nope.
Not that I can remember.
I don't think so.
Nope. No. I don't know why we're going that route, but
Just saying.
Get us canceled by the Gingers or whatever.
Why calling them Gingers might get us canceled?
I don't know. Why is that a thing? That shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, no, it's an interesting question, and the field situation. Like, what would you rather have? 10-7. Might as well make a poll out of it. Would you rather have a 10-7 playoff bound Andy Dalton led Bears, or a 7-10 no way playoffs Justin Fields?
As I say here, I keep thinking about the question, and like I want to win just as much as anybody, but more and more means going towards the 7-10 Justin Fields.
It sets you up better for the future. Mm-hmm. He can develop chemistry with the receivers. He can prove himself in pressure situations, which will allow the coaching staff to have faith and trust in him in those situations going forward. They won't play scared. I think the development of your young quarterback is the most important thing in today's NFL.
And that's would be Lombardi saying that you are impeding progress. And that's kind of what we were talking about yesterday.
I hate Michael Lombardi.
You do?
I really do. I hate Michael Lombardi.
You and one other person I know, Matt Bowie, hates him.
He's a blowhard.
Really?
Just full of hot air.
I think he said some very important things. Absolutely, I do. And the one being is his knock, and I said it on the air, and I know because Serge came in and said, I've never heard that before, and I said, I can't take credit for it, it's Michael Lombardi. But when he said that about Nagy and saying, like, announcing that Dalton was a starter, he's the one that said, the Bears are is similar to the person saying, we're lost, but we're still making good time. No, in the end, you're still lost, and he's right. In that situation, you're lost.
But what's his view on deep dish pizza?
Oh, I'm sure he's got plenty of views on it. He talks a lot about pizza and the Sixers, and he loves what is the show? Gosh darn it all. This is good. This is terrible. What's the show on HBO about the gangsters? Come on,
Sopranos?
Yeah, he loves The Sopranos. I've never seen The Sopranos, so it's not hard for me to forget what that is. But so you don't like Lombardi? That's interesting. All right, but yeah, I think you're impeding progress by holding him back anyway. And this is their job. I mean, this is the GM's job of the Bears and Nagy's. I mean, this is their year. They have to bring him in at some point, right? They can't keep holding him back and be like, yeah, but next year we're going to show you what we've done.
And also, I feel like we're seeing a lot of younger quarterbacks coming in and getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been seen now the last few years. These guys getting younger has nothing to do. They still can be successful in the league.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not going to get away with pulling what the Chiefs did if Trevor Lawrence comes in and out of nowhere starts beating you over under unexpected wins for Jacksonville. Or in week 3, they're leading the AFC South, and then you think Bears fans are going to be okay with him after week 3 just sitting on the bench? It's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, not one bit.
So I don't know. I guess if I was the coach, I'd probably start with Dalton just so I could say, hey, yeah, I said Dalton was my starter. Here he is. You know, I'm proving that I'm a man of my word, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, if you're thinking about job security and saving your own tuchus, maybe you wait till week 6, 7, 8 to bring Fields in, let him get everyone excited there towards the back half of the season. That way it's like, okay, well, you know, see, I brought you Fields. We coached him up a little bit. He had some good moments. You can't fire me now because, you know, I'm going to ride with him year 2 and continue to help him grow and develop. But if you start him from the get-go and Fields doesn't look the part, you know, early because he's a rookie and, you know, rookies struggle sometimes, then all eyes are going to turn to the coach and they're going to say, hey, you know what? Fields needs someone better.
Yeah.
Fields needs somebody who can develop his skills
Somebody different
better.
in general.
Yeah, and then you leave yourself exposed to being replaced. So
How short is the lease on Andy Dalton? Are we talking like he gets, let's say the first half of the Rams game he goes 8 for 16 or an interception and only like 87 yards passing.
It's on the road, doesn't matter.
Does Fields come out?
It's on the road, doesn't matter.
I think he got maybe 2 to 3 weeks with Dalton. And if he plays well, then he's fine. He'll stay.
The problem with that is isn't that a primetime game on Sunday night? That's the problem with that. That's the only thing, because now it's going to be the only game that all the eyes are on. So local media around here will be focused more, and even you're listening to like your ESPN or whatever else, because they're going to love to have that type of talk of where if there's controversy. But that's the problem. It's all the eyes will be on that, focused on that game that night. But I don't think it makes a difference what happens. I don't think you'll see Fields week 1. I just don't.
And you got to give that offensive line time to do some things because they might be in a little bit of trouble.
They just also lost their second round pick.
Yep, Tevin Jenkins, starting right tackle,
Possibly for the
back
year.
surgery today. Could be gone for the whole year.
And try to get him back this year, but not looking good.
Who's they recently signed on the offensive line?
Was it
Who's
the
they renewed?
Eagles? They just traded
Jason
the Eagles?
Peters. Yeah, that's right. So.
All right, well, we got to take a break here at ESPN 1170 AM. We'll talk more when we come back. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Did you ever get that plug in the radio? We're on studio line. Did you see that? Either A said that. I don't know.
Gotcha. I didn't do the...
Hey, this is Dorf with Dancing with the QC Stars. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
The dog days of summer are here, and TMI is making you an offer you don't want to miss. Purchase air conditioning, and TMI will install a deluxe furnace for half price. With utility rebates, the savings are huge, up to $3,150. And TMI will give you the best warranties and customer satisfaction guarantees anywhere with easy financing options. Again, save big money with this half-off sale. Don't miss out on the best deal of the summer. Estimates are free, so call today.
Dear Quad Cities, after 2020, it's time we come together to celebrate with a free, that's right, free festival. For our 2021 Alternating Currents Festival, we are dedicating another weekend to highlight the Quad Cities, downtown Davenport music, film, comedy, and art scene. You create your schedule. You pick what you see. And you get to choose your own adventure during alternating currents while supporting local businesses. August 19th through the 22nd, discover over 100 performances with events like Crafty Cat Indie Fest, Silent Disco, and of course dozens of bands, comedians, film, and art shows. The fest is August 19th through the 22nd, so visit alternatingcurrentsqc.com and download the app to plan out your weekend of fun while you discover the magic of downtown. Alternating Currents is presented by Green State Credit Union, the Regional Development Authority, and organized by the Downtown Davenport Partnership.
What girl doesn't dream of getting dressed up in diamonds on her wedding day? With the Something Borrowed program at Dolan Jewelers, dreams do come true. With the purchase of your engagement ring and diamond from Dolan Jewelers, you can borrow up to $25,000 worth of our jewelry to wear on your wedding day, absolutely free. Shop our huge selection of popular engagement rings, as well as his and her wedding bands. Financing is always available, so come visit Dolan Jewelers at 3865 Elmore in Davenport or dolanjewelers.com.
Draft Day Sports Lounge has everything you need to enjoy all the sports action. Over 50 beer options to choose from, great food, sports betting, and a fantastic atmosphere for you and your friends to escape to. They're always adding to the menu to make sure there's the perfect option for everyone. So come visit Draft Day Sports Lounge inside Rhythm City Casino. And if you want to plan ahead, the full menu is at rhythmcitycasino.com.
Are we ready for the 5:30 pickup?
Cam's Courier Service's newest hire delivered his resignation.
Hey, Ray, who's handling
She now needs next-day shipping on a new driver.
all these boxes here? Are they ingoing or are they outgoing?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Taylor Bishotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. There's a new highest paid safety in the league after Jamal Adams agreed to a new 4-year contract with the Seahawks that'll pay him $70 million. Adams hadn't been practicing while he negotiated with the team, but returned to the field on Tuesday. He says some parental advice helped get his deal done.
Mom called. She called twice, and when Mom called and she told me that I needed to take the contract, it was a no-brainer. So Mama knows best.
Elsewhere, Jags waived quarterback turned tight end Tim Tebow on Tuesday. Head coach Urban Meyer says it was a tough decision because Tebow was already beloved in the Jags locker room. The Niners also placed quarterback and former first-round pick Josh Rosen on waivers. And Chiefs Pro Bowl defensive end Frank Clark injured his hamstring at practice Tuesday, but there is optimism he'll be healthy by week 1. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Stream all your favorites with the Disney Bundle.
What did you expect?
Disney Plus has Loki and Luca. Hulu has originals like Summer of Soul and Love Victor. And ESPN Plus has exciting UFC matchups and new episodes of Stephen A's World. Sign up at DisneyPlus.com and get the Disney Bundle for $13.99 a month. Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Get the Disney Bundle today. Includes Hulu ad-supported plan. Terms apply. See DisneyPlus.com for details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil is just $18.99. It keeps your engine from breaking down without breaking the bank. Yep, a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic for $18.99 is not just a great deal. It's the break you've been waiting for. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations does not include state local taxes or recycling fees. Advertised sales price may not be available in some states. Offer ends 8/31/21.
Get your sports fix while you work. Download our free mobile app and never miss a moment. From the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, welcome back. Don't Hassle for Local here on ESPN 1170 AM.
Jay, I got some update on that burrito I had this morning.
That's breaking news. I love
Breaking news
What's
here.
What's the update on that burrito?
Java was the breakfast burrito
Downtown?
I had. Yep.
Right on River Drive.
I got myself a chocolate banana, peanut butter protein smoothie, and a sausage breakfast burrito. And I'm telling you, they got some great breakfast burritos.
Really? Do you go there quite a bit?
My old lady lives right behind there in the apartment complex,
Yeah.
so drop her off and give me a burrito.
Nice. I would never have thought about that
fantastic.
nice protein thing there, huh?
Try it out.
All right. Well, we're in the Hassel Castle, brought to you by Our Bar. I told you guys on Monday that they're new sponsors of the show, and I talked to the twins yesterday, and they helped me with a little write-up. So just to give you guys a little input here, the Our Bar in Davenport is your destination for an upscale and sophisticated atmosphere. The Our Bar is located at 4907 Utica Ridge Road and prides itself on its fine wines and liqueurs, unique cocktails, and martinis. From Busch Light to bougie, the Our Bar has something for everyone, which makes it a great fit for you and your friends. Have a drink, grab a bottle of wine to share, and watch a game. You can do all of that at the Our Bar. Make sure to check out their Facebook or for live music announcements, specials, and much more. While you're there, make sure to like their page. See you tonight at the Our Bar in Davenport on Utica. Stopped in there and had a glass of wine, too, while I was doing that. They're nice guys. Help me out.
Was really hoping that was like a pirate-themed bar.
No, I mean, that really
Captain
wasn't as
Jack
good as the
Sparrow.
update or anything like that, but I mean, we'll get into that. So we just got done talking a little bit about the Bears and the Dolphins, the preseason. Do you look? We talked yesterday a little bit, Adrian. Do you look forward to? So you write for the Finsider, is that what it is?
TheFinsider.com.
Out of these preseason games at all, what do you tell people to? Do you tell them to look for anything in particular? So just the average fan, blanket statement in any one of these weeks, in any three of these preseason games, what should you be looking for?
I personally look for maybe players or units that have been struggling in practice. I want to see how they do on game day. Maybe they're gamers. Maybe they're not practice guys. You know, we've all known those types of people. Maybe you are that type of person. You don't practice very well, but when the game is on the line, when those situations arise, you make those plays because you're a gamer. So I try to watch for units that may have been struggling in practice, see if they can put it together come game day. But I think one of the most important, underrated pieces of any football team is the offensive line. So I want to know, how does the offensive line perform? Are you blocking your guy? Are you picking up stunts and all of those types of things? Because if you can't keep your QB clean, you're not going to be able to hit those medium and deep routes, and I think that's important. So, big offensive line guy.
Are you watching? You talked. I know last week. Do you still watching Hard Knocks?
I don't know what day it's on.
Yeah, maybe it comes out tonight.
I don't watch
it
it
was
live.
yesterday, wasn't it? It was on
Was
Tuesdays.
Is it on Tuesdays?
I think so.
I have HBO Max, and I went to look for it yesterday morning, and I couldn't. There was only episode 1, so I haven't seen the second episode yet, but I did watch the first.
Okay. Well, since we're things that are on television, did you watch Heels on Stars?
No.
No way.
Are you gonna watch Heels on Stars?
Probably.
Oh, why not?
It sounds so cheesy. Also, every waking moment of my life is consumed with professional wrestling. I don't need to add more wrestling content.
Except for when you come in here. I usually leave you alone, but Adrian and I got to talk SummerSlam with you later on in the second hour.
We could definitely do that.
Big weekend coming up here this weekend.
I've been watching the docu-series on, I believe, A&E about the serial killers this week. So I'm a big serial killer guy.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
I'm Ted Bundy and BTK and the Green River Killer and Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy. They're covering those 5 serial killers.
All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll fill you in on the Heels thing, but I'm not going to say on the air. I don't want to give any spoilers to Adrian. Get him to watch it soon.
I think I'm just going to wait, like you said, and wait till the series is over and then start my 7-day free trial on Stars.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then binge through it. All right. So I'll save it all for myself then. Yeah, so, one more thing before we get talking about it. When I was on break, I got an email. And you guys know, like, how I like to do stupid stuff, right? And I'm always for it. Like, there's the rodeo was at the Whiteside County Fair and the Demolition Derby, and I want to be a rodeo clown just for a night, and I want to do Demolition Derby.
Boy.
So I get this email, all right? And, again...
let's get us all signed up.
Motor racing is not my, any type of, stock cars. It's just not my forte type of thing, right? So I see the email, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Get an invitation to cover the World Series of drag racing. All right. So I'm like, okay, not my thing. Whatever. And then I scroll down. I don't know why. And then I read this one part. Media race.
Okay.
And exactly, there's where my head went. Okay, what does that mean? And I read, all media in attendance is eligible to compete in the 67th annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World Series of Drag Racing Media Challenge Drag Race. What? And how fast can I sign up if this is a real thing? All I really know is this. This would be on Thursday at 2 p.m., all right?
Tomorrow?
And we just know it, and the 26th, and we just happen to have it off because the White Sox are going to be playing. So, and this is what it says. Lunch, interviews, and media challenge drag race. Lunch will be served at 2, followed by interviews with Larry Dixon, Dominic Blasco. Don't know who they are. Sounds good. After interviews, media will compete in the media challenge drag racing with Dixon and Blasco serving as driver coaches. What not?
Jay,
Why can't I?
If you're in, I'm in.
If
you're in, I'm in.
Sign me up.
Yeah, we should see it.
You need a pit crew.
Yeah.
We got a couple guys.
We all just need to go. We all just be like, they're all media with me.
I
We
all
just
of a
sign-
sudden have nothing to do next Thursday.
Yes. Can you just imagine, just strap on a GoPro on my head and hear me scream like a little girl, going how fast or whatever else? Do I actually get to drive? Because I don't think I should be driving. And I mean, I'm a pretty good.
But I will if they want to take that risk.
That's the way it has to go. This is the one thing I will tell you. I'm an excellent driver. I'm a terrible parker. So once that thing's over with, you're going to have to park that car. I'm not doing it. Somebody's going to get hit. But that sounds awesome. Out of all the things that I've asked, all the dumb stuff where they're like, no. Like when I asked to be a rodeo clown, they're like, no, insurance isn't covered. I'm like, I don't care. That sounded awesome. And then the whole demolition derby, when they're like, no, you have to provide your own car. And I was like, I don't want to. So now they're going to provide the car and they're going to let me do this. Like, come on, this is a no brainer. We have to get in this. If they say like, hey, do you know anyone else that wants in? I say, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
We need 3 pit passes.
Yes. Well, this sounds like a great idea. I'm going to get more information on this because that is exactly something that, sounds like a stupid thing that I would do, and then afterwards go, what was I thinking? Kind of like when I went skydiving. Oof. That was another thing. I really thought that day, I was like, I had said, I was like, listen, I have an addictive personality, and I think the adrenaline's going to be so exciting that I'm going to want to do this again multiple times. So this might become a hobby of mine. And I went and jumped out of that plane, and it was fantastic. It was awesome. You got to see all of God's green earth. It was, they were trying to get you to pull your head up because to look at the camera and do the thumbs up thing. And I was like, no, I want to look at the Quad Cities here. This is awesome. And then I got down. I'm like, that was awesome. Oh, my God. That's great. And then I'm driving back from Geneseo, and I make it maybe about 15 minutes, and then I go, what was I thinking this entire time? Why at all did I think that was a good idea? I have 2 kids, I have a life to live, and I just was like, I'm going to be addicted to this, and I'm just going to jump out of planes all the time. I'm not doing that, and so I never did it again. But this sounds like right up my alley. I think this is something we need to look into. This would be a lot of fun. Can you just imagine just being a drag race? No. If they're just like, what level of excitement does it take it down if they're like, no, you're just driving along?
I'd still be excited.
Yeah, driving alone would be way better, wouldn't it?
No, driving along.
Like they're
like someone else is going to. Like
that's fine. I'd be fine with that too. You're just going real fast.
So, but the thing, coach drivers, do you think it's like driver's ed thing?
I want to go fast.
Yeah, the driver's ed thing, like you both have a wheel and they have the brake thing or whatever else.
I think I would I would prefer not to drive, but I want to be in the passenger seat because I want to go that fast and also know I'm not going to die.
Yeah, that would be.
I doubt there's 2 wheels because, what if you got scared and just grabbed onto it real quick and
or you were so excited you passed out and your head hit the wheel and span it off and
you're hitting the brake.
No.
You're just running around. Running around.
What if they have you bring your car into the drag pit? What all of a sudden they're lining you up against 4 Tauruses and Focus.
Yeah, it's all actual driving education cars that you have to be in.
And then they're like, just kidding. This is the Derby. This is the destruction Derby.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness, I can't believe. Yeah, good for them.
Where's your car?
Oh, so I can't wait to get more information about the dumb stuff that we can get light ourselves on fire with or whatever, crash into walls or whatever else. So,
hell yeah,
sounds good to me. So we were talking about this yesterday, the other day, and about going back to preseason football. From what I understand, from what I've read, and I do not have a long history of gambling on preseason football. I'm not a degenerate. But from what I understand, week 2 is usually the best one to kind of gamble on because you're going to see more reps from some of the starters because they're more likely to sit like week 3.
I just read on the way in, Andy Reid says he's going to play all his starters for the entire first half.
Okay.
This weekend.
Sounds like a week to do a parlay.
That's right.
Sounds like you're transferring right into let's do a parlay.
Well, we could do that. We could look into that. I'm just trying to think we know that in Denver, for example, we know that Teddy Two Gloves is starting because Vic Fangio had already said they're going to rotate starts, and then week 3, I think they're going with their third stringer to start, and I think they're all done after that, unless it's completely neck and neck race, and he still hasn't made a decision because he has not made a decision on a quarterback race there.
Nope.
Turn around and hand the ball off is pretty much what they're going to do all year. I think
They've got good receivers,
they threw it
though.
14 times the other night.
They do have really good receivers, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with that.
And a combined only 3 incompletions between the two of them.
What was it?
Mm-hmm. So, he said after the game they don't really have a decision on who the starter is going to be, and where else? What were we talking about the other day where there's possibly that they're going to do the two type of the quarterback by committee. Where was I talking about? That was on Monday that I was listening to, and they were thinking that. In San Francisco.
Oh,
do you think you see that coming at all?
2 QB systems. I don't know about it, man.
That's
maybe
what Adrian was saying.
You
some
bring
high
in,
school stuff.
Yeah.
You're just getting too cute.
I
right?
hated when the Saints did it, and they probably did it better than anyone. And I still hated when they did it.
What do you mean?
When they would take
Taysom,
Drew Brees off and put Taysom in.
I didn't even.
You think that's what it's going to be like that down there this year?
I don't know. It'll depend on who gets to start, I guess. If
gotta be
Jameis starts,
right?
if Jameis starts, then yeah, I think they'll still bring in Taysom for a lot of those plays. I think that's just what Sean Payton likes to do.
Yeah.
I think he likes to prove he's smarter than everybody else. Look what I can do.
Yeah, I just think I don't think Shanahan's going to get cute like that.
No.
I think he's just going to wait on Trey Lance. But he did say, he didn't think that Trey Lance would be developing this fast either. And he's someone who likes to sit back and kind of wait on their quarterbacks to kind of get to know the system a little bit better than anything else. Was there any other quarterback races out there that I'm not? Obviously
talked about the Patriots
and Bears, and then Trey Lance. I don't know.
Well, according to Urban Meyer, he still doesn't know the starter in Jacksonville.
Get out of here. Well, that was over the weekend. I'm too busy thinking about Tebow and his nonsense or whatever else. And can you believe that was the top 5 selling jersey right before he even penned his contract?
People love Tebow.
Who are the people that love Tebow?
I don't understand why people don't love Tebow.
I love Tebow not enough to buy a jersey.
With him. There you go. I have no problem with Tim Tebow. I think I can live in a world where Tim Tebow exists. I'm not like Stocking the other day saying how terrible he is. He's an athlete. Don't get me wrong. And I do think he does have a place in the XFL if he wants to. And I don't know why Stocking was saying he's terrible. He's awful for the XFL and it would make it a gimmick of a league. I don't think that's true. But I have no problem with Tebow. But I don't. Again, Merrick, to your point, I'm not a jersey guy, but I don't know why that would even make me come close to thinking that I would want to go buy because Tim Tebow's on Jacksonville. I'd rather have a Trevor Lawrence jersey, I think, than anything else, and I don't care for the man's hair. So
I'm a huge jersey guy, but
yeah,
it's steadfast rule that I can't.
Oh, looks goofy. He looks like a girl.
Not a hair guy.
Yeah, he looks. I like hair. Everyone likes hair, but he looks like one of those TikTok Bama Rush girls or whatever else. Anything else? So. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of his hair. That's all. But I'm sure maybe his face with short hair makes him look even less attractive. So that's on him. I don't know.
That's why I keep the hair too.
So, but no, I don't understand why that would be the number 1 jersey or whatever else. Is there that many diehard Christians out there that are I need to have this jersey to show that might show support?
Or maybe people just want to complete their Tebow jersey collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe that's just out of
a good collection.
Maybe to be ironic. And just be I like people to get all upset when I wear it.
I was bidding on a Jay Cutler Dolphins jersey the other day because I wanted to wear it ironically.
Mm-hmm.
But they were asking $40 for it, and I was like, I will give you $8 for this jersey.
Yeah,
it is not worth more than that.
Do you have any jerseys that are ironic? Just to get people going.
Jerseys. I don't. I have some jerseys for some bad players because I have 35, 37
You have a lot
jerseys.
of Dolphins jerseys.
Yeah, they're all Dolphins jerseys. So I have a Chad Henne jersey.
Oh,
for
there
sure.
you go. Yeah.
I have a Matt Roth jersey.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you a story about Matt Roth?
I feel like there are a handful of these stories floating around, but yeah, I'd love to hear your Matt Roth story.
I don't think I can tell it on the air.
Well,
actually, I know I can't tell it on the air. It is awful. Oh boy, I wish that's a story that needs to be told like sometime. It's off the air though. I think I may have done it one time. No, I don't think I even told it like with fake names for people out there. I'll tell you guys during a break. It's bad.
Oh.
So you have a Matt Roth jersey?
Let's take a
I
break.
I would gladly help you burn that thing.
I have a Matt Roth jersey. I was tricked into getting it when I went down. I visited the Dolphins practice facility like 12 years ago, and that was the year they had drafted Matt Roth, I think in the second round.
Yeah, something like that.
And they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Iowa." And they're like, "Well, then let us make you a Matt Roth jersey." And they did, and then he got injured like right away and ended up like never playing a game for the Dolphins, and it was bad. Other than that, I don't know. Just bad players.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought they were going to be good, or I got a jersey and then the player was traded like 2 weeks later.
Do you have jerseys?
I got some jerseys.
Do you have any with ironic or anything?
No, nothing really ironic. No.
Do you ever wear those jerseys to the game and the players in there anymore, and then there's some guy who's intoxicated and he's like, he's not even on the team anymore?
That's always fun. Or like I'll wear my LeBron James jersey to like Cubs games or like Bulls games or
And
something.
then do you get the guy that says, "Sit down, LeBron"?
Yeah.
I like those guys too, though. I like those ones.
Jordan was better. Yeah, we get it. All right, whatever you want.
Okay, Erickson says I've told the story on air before about Roth, but I know I didn't say it by name, so Erickson knows the story. Anyway, I did tell it, but I did not say it by a name. Now I have. So if you've heard it, you've heard it. It's him. I don't care if he comes and beats me up. I don't care. It was close enough. I mean, I did get hit by a chair that flew through the air, a metal one, by the way. So it was a nice. It was a nice.
Sounds like
it was
a day
nice,
in my life.
It was a nice brawl. It really does. Except for I didn't sell it. It actually really hurt. So it's, but that being said, we do have to take a break here at Don't Hassle Us Local. We'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Ella Schmidt, the 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand?
Hey, Crawford guy! Go long!
No, I can't!
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike three.
Come on, Crawford guy, take the shot!
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The granddaddy of them all, the 67th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World Series of Drag Racing returns to Cordova International Raceway. Feel the thunder of Top Fuel dragsters and nitro funny cars. Meet the legendary Big Daddy Don Garlitz and Arnie the Farmer Bestwick. Discounted tickets available at participating O'Reilly Auto Parts stores or online at racecir.com. Don't miss the biggest motorsports event of the year, the 67th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World Series of Drag Racing. August 27th through the 29th at Cordova International Raceway.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I know Brad Pitt from the Hollywood scene in L.A., whatever. I see him. Name drop. I see him, I say hi, whatever. He brings me over into their little section or whatnot. There's a guy with colored glasses on, and he's talking to me, having a conversation with me. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He's telling me, I asked him, what do you do for a living, where you from? He says, I'm from Ireland. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What do you do for a living? He says, oh, I'm in the music business, da-da-da. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. And so I'm like, oh, you stay, keep your head up. You know, you're going to just keep, man, this thing, I know it's tough in the entertainment business. Grind it out, the whole deal.
Look at you being motivational.
Brad Pitt goes, hey, man, you ever heard of U2? I'm like, no, I kind of know the group or whatever. He said, that's the lead singer of U2. I'm like, Bono. Oh, okay, all right. But I'm trying to encourage him.
Zero idea who Bono was. Zero clue.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Hey, Sarah, how's business?
It's going well. Our clients love our work. I just wish that we could figure out how to grow faster.
I hear you. Is it slow for everyone in your industry right now?
Actually, no. I see competitors all over who seem to be very busy, even though I know my work is better than theirs. I just wish I knew how they were finding new customers. If I could do it too, I know I could beat them.
I had that same challenge until I signed up with Town Square. Now my website is on page 1 of Google, and I'm getting leads every day.
Town Square? Was it expensive?
Not at all. Zero cost to build the site, no nickel and diming, and no contracts. Just a monthly subscription that I can cancel anytime. It's awesome.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis that will show you how the most successful businesses grow and how you can do it too with no risk. Be one of the first to sign up and you'll receive $500 in free advertising on this station. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
The Max Kellerman Show.
And when you think about the Rams offense and what McVay can do with Stafford, like think about what he did with Goff and Gurley. Remember a couple years ago, it was like the Rams have 3 MVPs on their team. 3 guys in the conversation. About 2/3 of the way through that season, I'd say. The Rams offense has not been the same since. And going into this season, I thought, you know what? They got Cam Akers now. Since week 11 of last season, including the playoffs, Akers is number 1 in rushing yards, scrimmage yards, and scrimmage touchdowns on the Rams. So I thought, they got their guy now. That offense is going to be a problem. In fact, even talking about, will Stafford win a Super Bowl on the Rams, my first instinct was say no. That is a huge hit for the Rams to take.
The Max Kellerman Show. Weekdays at 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Football will be back before we know it. And whether you're home gating or tailgating this season, Tyson's has you covered with everything you need to cheer on your team. Check out new styles of collegiate apparel and save 20%. Step up your game and get some new gear with canopies, chairs, blankets, and more. Now up to 20% off. Kick off your season with a new grill to out-tailgate the competition with select grills on sale now. All these great deals and more now through August 29th. Tyson's Home, Farm, Auto.
We're talking about every Major League Baseball game right here. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
We're live here in the Hassel Castle, brought to you by the R Bar in Utica and Davenport. It's 12:52. About to be 12:53, Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. And in just about a few minutes, we're going to call Mike out at Hidden Hills. We're going to put together our DFS fantasy golf for the week. But Adrian, you said the magic word. You said parlay.
Parlay.
And I want to take a look at something. What was the one that we need to look at? Who was the
Carolina.
Carolina Panthers, what we want, right?
Yep.
That's definitely the game that we're going to be looking at.
Baltimore will lose a preseason game this week.
First time in 16 straight games, right?
He was 18. It's right around
18.
there.
Cubs are up 5-1. It looks like they're putting together a little winning streak.
Hey.
This will be 2 in a row, right?
You win the next. You win out. You might make the playoffs.
You win out. Indians and Twins are tied at the top of second, 1-1. All right, let's take a look. Pro Football Game Lines full line. From what I understand, these are up. They are. Okay. So you said Andy Reid said that, right? I think the Chiefs are only -2 on the road against Arizona.
If starters play the whole first half, it's just so difficult because the
favorites have not been doing well.
Well, the play calling is so vanilla too, because the Chiefs can light anybody up, but are they going to want to put their best plays on tape?
Mm-hmm. How much do you think we're going to see of Justin Fields in the Bears versus the Bills?
I think you'll see a lot of Justin Fields.
How much do we have stock in Trubisky coming back in the Trubisky Bowl, the Biscuit Bowl?
This is the most important game of his season right now.
Yeah, that's why I like the Bills at +4.
Yeah, I'd take that. I would.
All right, so here's our one though. Carolina are getting 3.5 points against the Ravens at home. And not like that matters in the preseason. We actually want to do an adjusted line. We want to give up some points. We want to give up 2 points, and then I wonder what adjusted line that would make.
The Ravens' injuries as of late?
Mm-hmm. That's
like they're half their team.
That's what we're saying. That's what Adrian pointed out, and that's why we want to do an adjusted. We want to move it around.
I don't know who's going to play quarterback, and I'm pretty sure their backup quarterback and the third string quarterback are not playing for the rest of the preseason.
You guys know I do love Jake from Elite Sportsbook, but when the website doesn't do what I want it to do, I get really frustrated, and it's hard to support something like that, especially when they have a tab for player props, and we could sit here and talk about what player props we like for the weekend, and then it just says there's nothing up and running for this on the website. So thanks for making the tab, but it's not there. All right. So the Chiefs one is interesting. At -2 against Arizona. On the road. Again, it doesn't matter. Is there anybody else? Let me take you through these. Anything else and if we're doing a parlay, okay? Patriots -1.5 against the Eagles.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine with that.
I feel like I'm staying away from that one.
The only reason I like it is because it's on Thursday night, and then you get to just toss it away if the first leg, and then you can start over again. So that's why I'm like,
that's not fun.
I wonder if we can tease any of these games. Oh, that's another interesting thing. Let's. We already talked about Chiefs -2, Bengals, Washington football team. Washington football team is -4.5.
Ooh, that's kind of a big number.
It's a lot.
You like the Washington football team in that situation, right?
I do. I'm not sure I'm willing to put money on it though at 4.5.
Seems
KC, you said they're going to start. Most of their starters are playing for that first half, -2.5 on Friday as well.
That's what they're
saying.
saying.
In the first half alone? The first half bet or for the game?
Just for the game.
I've got it only a -2 at Elite, so you're getting better odds there. Same juice too. Nothing's juiced up. Okay, Jets and the Packers. Packers are getting 2.5 points at home. Jordan Love was pretty good, right?
Yeah, he's not playing again.
He's not.
He had an MRI on his shoulder.
That's right.
I think that he's going to be out this game.
And so it's
Rodgers isn't going to play.
Rodgers won't play at all.
That's a stay away. Falcons at Dolphins. Dolphins -5.
I can't see. Nah. Maybe. I don't know. Jacoby Brissett's a good backup, but
is he the backup down there this year?
Yeah, the Dolphins are not putting anything on tape right now because they got 2 new offensive coordinators, co-offensive coordinators, all new play calls, all new personnel. You know, Jalen Waddle's out there. They're not going to put that on tape. They want to surprise Belichick week 1.
Okay. We already talked about Ravens and Panthers. We love the Panthers at +3.5 to the point that we want to give points, give up points, and we want to put the juice in our favor. Detroit Lions on the road against the Steelers. They're getting 5.5 points. The Steelers are favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I like the backup quarterback situation there.
For Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lions shouldn't be too much. There's nothing to worry about. Buccaneers and Titans. Buccaneers -1.
Did Tom Brady go on a rant this morning or something?
Again?
I didn't see.
Against the Players Association again?
No, talking about how the team hasn't done a whole lot this offseason and maybe not ready to go.
I didn't see that.
Calm down, Tom.
A little motivation there.
Calm down, Tom.
Tom's got to be Tom.
I read he drinks half his body weight in ounces of water daily.
I've heard that too.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So many ounces. It's like 3 gallons.
Yeah, maybe I should do that.
I feel like I should drink more water right now.
Okay, let's see. Cowboys, Texans. Cowboys -4.
Yeah, I like that. That's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, Texans a dumpster fire. But they won last week. Who did they beat? They beat Green Bay? I can't remember. No, anyway.
They did?
Yeah, they beat Green Bay. Texans won. So you never know. They put
26-7.
They put something together or whatever else, and then they just go 0 for in the season.
And I mean, everybody's saying that they're a dumpster fire. That team's got to be hearing that and getting a little chip on their shoulder, right?
Vikings and Colts. I don't know. I like the Colts here.
That's a QB battle we didn't talk about.
What's that?
The Colts QB situation.
It's going to be Wentz. He's walking around without a boot now.
They love them some Jacob Eason.
I love me some Sam Ehlinger.
I like Ellinger too. I actually was hoping the Dolphins would
Being
take
back
him in the later round.
I thought he was great on Sunday. I really did. I texted friend of the show Mitch and was like, man, I'm a fan of this guy. I mean, obviously the first series he threw an interception, but and on top of it, all eyes on him. It's the only game on Sunday for preseason for the NFL. I like Sam. I mean, he never came to fruition in Texas the way he was supposed to, but he's got a hot mom too. Not to go all Barstool Sports on you, but
he does.
Yeah. Raiders and Rams. Raiders are -6.5 on the road at Los Angeles.
That's a huge spread there.
That is a lot.
There's got to be a lot of people not playing.
Yeah. Denver -5, Seahawks +5. That's only because Teddy Bridgewater is going to be taking a lot of snaps in the first half. Then they're actually going to see Drew Lock because they have to figure it out. So Denver probably is going to pour it on like they did against Minnesota. Give up the points there on the road.
Yeah.
And then we go into the next day. New York Giants at Cleveland Browns.
Is that even? I got that at even.
No, I got it at Cleveland Browns -5.5.
I don't know why that's not pulling up here.
If you can get it even, take that then. Jump on the Browns, whatever site you're on. This is on Elite Sportsbook. I don't know what you're going to do there, Cleveland. I don't know. San Francisco 49ers on the road are favored against the Chargers -5. I'm assuming that's because we're going to see Trey Lance just throw 80-yard passes to Stafford again.
That'd be cool.
Jacksonville minus Tim Tebow is going to go to New Orleans.
How much did the line move on that news?
It's incredible. You wouldn't believe it. Originally it was just Saints. It was a pick'em. Now without him, now it's Saints -4.
I would love to see Tim Tebow versus Taysom Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see those offenses battle it out. 3-2 game.
Yeah, that's going to be a 7:00 game on. That's going to be Monday night.
Monday Night Football is back.
There you go.
Are you ready for some football?
Hold on a second. On Monday night, are they going to do the Peyton brothers get their debut? Do they get a try? Are they going to do the two things at once?
I bet they unleash that. I bet they unleash that.
They're going to wait till week one. Oh, man, we need to talk more about that.
That's got to be exciting. That's got to work, right? That's just got to be like they're going to take over the entire Monday Night Football thing.
Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah, it's going to be. Let's come back to that. Let's call Mike real quick because I don't want to keep him waiting or whatever else. Let's talk some DFS fantasy golf here because we got what's coming up tomorrow. He'll let me know.
Hidden Hills.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
How's it going over there in the studio?
It's going great. Beautiful day to play some golf, wouldn't you say?
It's perfect out today. You know, it's getting a little warmer the rest of the week, but today might be the last day of 80s.
Yeah, I was looking at I was watching this morning the local forecast, and it looked great out there. I think at the most it's supposed to get up to is maybe 89. That won't be till roughly around 4, but it's still hovering right around about 84 right about now, 85. So it's perfect out there to get out there at Hidden Hills. You got a lot of interest in your Labor Day coming up, the golf outing?
Yeah, it's starting to pick up steam. You know, a couple of weeks out, it's people are looking at the weather, getting plans going. So we've had some sign-ups here in the last 3 or 4 days. So get your name in. It's going to be that Monday, Labor Day, 8 o'clock shotgun.
That'll be fun. And you just sign up your foursome, right?
Yep, it's just one foursome. Just give me one name for a captain, and then we'll put them in, and then we'll go from there.
That's great. And then do you guys do anything after the golf outing?
We do like a lunch is served afterwards.
Okay.
So, and it's 22 holes, so we play at 8. Usually they're done around noon or 12:30. Then we do lunch and prizes and all that stuff. So
now, do you guys do any fall leagues at all?
We do not have a fall league. Our Wednesday night league, they're just going to extend theirs into September. And then we'll have some Chili Opens coming in first Sunday in October, tentatively.
Okay, what's Chili Open?
Same as all the other tournaments. It's a 4-man.
Okay.
And then instead of sandwiches, hamburgers, afterwards we do a chili pot.
Yeah. So you can get information on that and more at hiddenhills-golf.com. And you can also call out there 563-332-5616. That's Hidden Hills Golf Course out at 4335 Indiana Avenue in Bettendorf. And that golf outing, the Labor Day, you guys still have spots. Like Mike said, go ahead and give him a call and give your name and for the captain, and he'll get you guys signed up for the foursome.
Yep, plenty of spots left.
Cool. And then, keep in mind for the Chile Open that he was talking about as well. And, just to get your golf in, 22 holes, like you said, Mike, you're the only golf course with 22 holes, right?
Yeah, only golf course. We got school right around the corner, so it's going to be, usually it's a drop-off. People are making plans, got kids stuff, so that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going hard at it, so.
Yeah, but when you got these last couple of days with the kids, you might as well be outside and play some sports with them.
Even better.
Even better. All right. We made some money the last time out when we put a team together, and we missed it last week because I think on Wednesday we were interrupted by the White Sox. We were. So this week, what do we have for our DFS for PGA Tour golf?
Northern Trust.
And then the Northern Trust. Okay.
Yep.
And what are we looking at this week?
We got some picks here. It's a big tournament. We got a lot of high-end golfers here, so a lot of expensive players.
Is it a big tournament because a lot of people are in now for the FedEx Cup because they've gotten the list down to the top 125?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of your last push to get those numbers in.
Okay.
And I just think it's an overall good payout tournament, good location. So I think everybody's excited about it.
All right, what's the direction we're going?
Okay, we're going first is Paul Casey.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Paul Casey. All right, 8.7. It's going to cost us $8,700. He's made 19 and 21 cuts, and he's got 10 top 10s. Love it.
Value pick right there. I mean, I don't know why he's so low.
I don't know either.
Maybe he's got like a lingering back issue, and he'll withdraw like the first hour when he practices.
I hope not.
Next up, Harris English.
Okay. Harris English. All right, 18 to 22 cuts, 8 top 10s, only going to cost us $8,800. All right.
Tony Finau.
Ooh, I know that name. Tony Finau, 8. He's low too. $8,200. Yeah. What's going on here? We got value out there.
We do. Like I said, I think they're valued because there's like 6 or 8 like top guys that are worth like 11,000.
Yeah.
Which, go ahead and pick those, but it really eats all your money up. I just like guys who can make the cut and then maybe contend.
Yeah.
I've got Victor Hovland.
All right. 9,500, 20 to 22 cuts, 8 top 10s. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
It's not bad at all.
Luke List.
Luke. That's, no, I was wrong there. Luke what? Oh, I got List. Gotcha. 6,400, all right. 6 top 10s we got going on there. And then what do we have for our final? We got 8,400 left.
Neiman, Niemann.
Oh, I like that. Neiman, yeah.
Joachim.
Yeah, I like him. 23 to 24 cuts, 6 top 10s. That's a good call. There, I like that. It's a good list.
Now we'll see. I think it's a good group to keep track of for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. Would make us some more money again, because that's always fun. It's better than when we don't make any money, right?
Yeah, it's always they send you an email that congratulations.
Yeah, I like that. I like the notifications too. That they put a little the money bag emoji in it, and that gets me excited.
Really exciting.
By the way, I need to thank you about last time I talked to you 2 weeks ago. You're like, hey, you got to plug the Southeast Little League, and it worked out. I got to talk to them quite a bit. They were on the radio that Thursday, and then I talked to him. Luke came in, your nephew, and then they actually called in from Indiana when they were there. That was quite a run that they had there.
Oh yeah, that was a ton of fun. It was unfortunate the way that it ended there. That's baseball. Like one play here, there. Felt bad for all the little guys, but they played well. They had a good run, and then it was a good experience for them all. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, the only bad part about that, outside of maybe taking the loss, is that they have to go to school and they don't get to miss out on school or anything like that. But no, it was awesome. They were all really good kids, and it was fun to talk to them. So I appreciated the heads up of talking to them, because it really got us excited to follow them, and hopefully we get, made a few more fans out of them, because we were making posts on social media about them and write a few things on ESPN1170am.com.
Oh yeah, they're easy to follow too when they're right on ESPN. You turn right up.
Yeah, that was incredible. What did you think about your brother being mic'd up as the coach?
Oh boy.
Oh boy is right. I was waiting for him to say something absurd just to kind of, everyone back home who knew him would kind of like raise an eyebrow to be like, what was he talking about there? But
yeah, he kept it clean.
He kept it professional.
Very professional. When he's mic'd up, the professionalism comes out.
Yeah. It does it though, or is it just is it maturity? Because you are the one person that has the video still of when he was on the Paul Sands live show. So, and with me, yeah,
there's not much more professionalism than that.
That video is something else.
You got stats and dogs and dog reader.
Yep, the animal psychic. Yep. So, but anyway, I appreciate the phone call and appreciate your time, Mike. And I want to remind everybody that you have the golf tournament that they can sign up for Labor Day, and to keep their eyes open for the Chili Open, they can go to hiddenhills-golf.com to check that out, or call out at 332-5616 at Hidden Hills Golf Course. That's at 4335 Indiana Avenue, north of the TBK Plex. Mike, anything else for me, my man?
Not today.
Not today?
Not today. Good luck with your players this weekend, and hook me up next week.
You got it. See you, buddy. Thanks for the phone call.
Yep. See you, Jay.
Appreciate you. Bye. All right, that's Mike out there at Hidden Hills. I forgot to ask him. He would have been a fun one to ask. Would you rather have a 10-7 playoff bound Bears, or would you rather have led by Andy Dalton?
Is he a Bears fan?
Yeah. He's a Bears fan, but it's not like his brother is a lot more diehard than I think he is. And that but I would like, we talked to him a little bit when the fire sale was happening. He's more of a realist, so it's not going to bother him at all. Kind of like I think where you are at too when it comes to the Cubs type of thing. He would just be like, it's good for the future, and the writing's on the wall. Let's move on and do that. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back. We'll talk fantasy football.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Let's do it.
And anything else that comes up, including deep dish pizza. We'll talk to you soon here, ESPN 1170 AM.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Coach A.C. Earl. Don't hassle us, we're local.
For homemade style, made from scratch everyday Mexican food, go to Nally's Kitchen. Handmade tortillas, gorditas, guaraches, guisados, guacamole, freshly made salsas, 1-pound burritos, and so much more. Dine in or pick up at Nally's Kitchen on Rockingham and Division, and their new location on East 53rd Street in Davenport next to Shell. Find them on Facebook for daily specials. Nally's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican food, Rockingham and Division, and now East 53rd Street in Davenport. Call or order online at nallyskitchen.com.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Janae and Golick Jr.
There are not a lot of places that actually get to claim a cartoon leprechaun. I am one of those places here. And so if anyone should understand what the Boston Celtics faithful, because I saw Big Baby Davis, I think Kevin Garnett, both spoke out defending Lucky after Kyrie Irving just went too far and stomped on him at half court of TD Garden. I think it's pretty fair to say I love Notre Dame more than most people love anything. Like, it's a weird obsession. Notre Dame's kind of like weird like that in general. And even I don't know if I missed the day they were handing out this lifelong competitive juice. I could not find it in me to get upset if another team decided to do that to the Irish. It's like I'd be more worried about the fact that we just got blowed the hell out. You can do whatever you want. Throw 40-yard touchdowns at the end of the game. If we're losing by 40, I'm sitting over there wondering why were we so bad that we lost by 40.
Janae and Golick Jr.
3 till 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. Whoa! And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Woo! Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices in Windows 10 Pro.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. But we got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Dear Quad Cities, after 2020, it's time we come together to celebrate with a free, that's right, free festival. For our 2021 Alternating Currents Festival, we are dedicating another weekend to highlight the Quad Cities. Downtown Davenport music, film, comedy, and arts scene. You create your schedule. You pick what you see, and you get to choose your own adventure during Alternating Currents while supporting local businesses. August 19th through the 22nd, discover over 100 performances with events like Crafty Cat Indie Fest, Silent Disco, and of course dozens of bands, comedians, film, and art shows. The fest is August 19th through the 22nd, so visit alternatingcurrentsqc.com and download the app to plan out your weekend of fun while you discover the magic of downtown. Alternating Currents is presented by Green State Credit Union, the Regional Development Authority, and organized by the Downtown Davenport Partnership.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
We're back live on the air, ESPN 1170 AM. Merrick's in studio with me. Adrian's in studio with me. We're talking off the air and thinking about that when, Mike was saying, when we just got done talking with Mike from Hidden Hills, saying, school is starting, and for some students, school has been starting, but last weekend we had things to do. We've got Alternating Currents. There was a commercial during the break that's coming up this weekend. Currently, right now, out in Eldridge at Sheridan Meadows is the ISC World Tournament, along with the ISC 2 World Tournament, and that kind of is the silver bracket of if the teams that were in there. And starting tomorrow is a Legends Tournament, which is it's more like over 50, which is that's not too far in my future, Merrick. So that's what I'm getting ready for now. That's why I go to the fitness center now to prepare for in 5 years if the phone rings, I will answer gladly and say I will be part of the Legends Tournament anywhere that you guys want a 50-year-old to play fast pitch softball, because there's nothing I want to do more than to just beat up on old people or whatever else. But plenty of things going on. I suggest tomorrow, we're not on the radio. I'm going out to Eldridge, Sheridan Meadows to watch those 50-year-olds, more importantly because they are guys that I grew up watching and or playing against when I finally was playing, and they were also peers of my father, so it'll be fun to go out there and see some of them, and it's more familiar. Last night I went out to Sheridan Meadows, saw a team from Canada, Bear Creek Express. I don't know anyone on there, and a team from California, the Something Bombers. There's a team from New York that's going on. They're playing tonight. I think the top 2 teams in the world, they ended up on the same side of the bracket, are playing in the semifinals tonight. So if you want to see fast pitch softball or athleticism that you're not used to seeing, go out there and check it out. It's in Eldridge. Last weekend, we had plenty going on. You make it my weekend, and you had your anniversary show for SCW.
Yeah, 18 years of SCW Pro out at Wildwood in Iowa City. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Top to bottom, maybe one of the best received shows we've put on in the 18 years of our existence. Crowd was hot all night long, reacting for everything. And then we got to the main event where we saw Effie, a big superstar in independent wrestling all around the globe, take on Black and Brave's own former Iowa Hawkeye football player Steve Manders. And they just beat the absolute crap out of each other, Jay. I'll tell you what. That was a fantastic match, fantastic night all around. 18 years, man, what a milestone. But, hey, we're not done. We're back at it. We got 2 shows this weekend. Friday, we'll be at the Beer Stube in Moline, 8 p.m. start, $10 tickets.
Always a good show.
We got a championship rematch as Johnny Wisdom tries to reclaim the championship from Shane Hollister. Hollister was victorious this past Friday at our 18th anniversary event, so he is the new champ. How long? We'll see what happens with that. And just announced last night, first time ever matchup, JT Energy will be taking on Mean Mason Beck. So that should be a fun one to watch.
So Mason and Connor had a match too, right?
Yep, Mason Beck was victorious against Connor Braxton. I might have had a little involvement there at the end.
You did? You had a little run-in? You got involved?
I didn't hit anyone, but Beck was trying to slam Braxton through a table that had a couple chairs set up on top of it.
Okay.
That were covered in thumbtacks.
That sounds more dangerous than my drag race.
That's what we like to do out there.
Yeah.
And the chairs fell down once, and I was like, well, we can't let that happen. So I just hopped on in the ring and held those chairs in place and allowed Mason Beck to powerbomb Braxton through the chairs, through the table, covered in thumbtacks. I got a couple, I don't know if you can see them here, I got a couple wounds on my hand from touching these tacks. But yeah, it was a fantastic night. So we're back at it again on Friday at the Beer Stube, and then on Saturday we're a part of Lopi's 2-year anniversary event. They have bands and pizza and beer,
comedy,
and
right?
Wrestling.
Comedy?
I think there might be some comedy there too. We got a block of matches at 8 o'clock, and then another block of matches at 10 o'clock, which means I'm going to be very tired.
Adrian, you better check out, see if they have a bags tournament too down there.
They don't.
How do you know?
I already know.
You're already on it?
I know what the bags tournaments are.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. The other thing that I just want to point out that you were in Wildwood and Iowa City and everything else, some people might think SCW stands for Scott County Wrestling. It doesn't.
No longer. It used to. It did.
Really?
It did back in the day.
That wasn't what it started for.
Okay, so real far back in the day.
Sure.
SCW
When it was in a barn.
When it was in a barn, stood for Steve and Chuck Wrestling.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That's the story.
Some
I
high
remember.
schoolers, right?
Yeah.
We got out of the barn. We needed a rebranding, and so we decided, what are we going to make SCW stand for now? And Scott County Wrestling won the vote. We took it at Godfather's Pizza. Up on West Kimberly.
I wish for so much you were going to say in East Moline and be like, what? You did it in East Moline? And okay, I know. Yeah, it's no longer there.
And then, eventually we started taking the show on the road, and we stopped just exclusively wrestling in Scott County, so it couldn't be called Scott County Wrestling anymore. And so now it's just SCW Pro Wrestling. That's what we are.
Right on. You have 2 events this weekend.
Two events, Friday and Saturday.
All right, well, let's just do this quick. This is an interesting weekend as far as it considers as professional wrestling goes.
Yeah.
SummerSlam
on Saturday.
It's one of the big 4. Would you say it's 2? Is it bigger?
Yeah.
It's 2, right? And it's going to be in Las Vegas.
WrestleMania number 1, SummerSlam number 2.
It's the first
WrestleMania of the summer.
This is the first one since Royal Rumble of the big 4 that has been in front of fans.
Yes.
So this one's going to be in Las Vegas.
WrestleMania had some fans.
Okay, that's right. It did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forget. That was a 2-night event. This is going to be on Saturday.
Yeah, first time we're getting a pay-per-view on a Saturday from WWE, and how?
I wonder how that's going to go. What's up with that? You guys know?
There was a reason for it. I can't remember.
I think Allegiant Stadium in Vegas just said
Vegas said no. They said it's got to be on Saturday for some reason. I can't remember what, but I did hear this, that Vegas said if you're going to do this pay-per-view or whatever else, which, by the way, why do they get to say? Because they would when they won all these people, but it had to be on Saturday, not Sunday.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe they just don't have live events on Sundays. Maybe Cher doesn't and everybody else, they don't do their shows on Sundays. Maybe it's something to do with the county.
I know,
but it's on Saturday.
The audience will be fully masked. They are mandating that. The Raiders released a statement yesterday saying that all games this season, fans would need to be fully masked.
Or show vaccination card?
No, it didn't matter. You have to be fully masked regardless of vaccination.
I can't believe
status.
Las Vegas was the first stadium to do that.
Yeah,
that shocks me.
Out of all the things that have come out of that town, all
Yeah,
the diseases.
I think I would imagine every other team is probably going to follow suit here.
Well,
if they're going to
NFL.
have full capacity.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. So SummerSlam. What do we look at? What are the main storylines here this weekend? Do you Adrian?
Well, you got Roman Reigns versus John Cena.
We got Lashley versus Goldberg.
That's right.
Yep.
So Cena stole the title from Finn Balor, the contract, which I didn't know that was allowed to happen.
A little help from Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
It's wrestling, baby.
Yeah.
Anything's allowed to happen.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if that was happening.
If you can dream it, you can do it.
Like if you're about to like sign a marriage certificate or whatever else, and someone runs in and knocks you down, and then you sign, you're like, I'm married to you now.
Yeah,
that's how that works.
Yeah, I told you why I got divorced. That's actually how I got married.
That's how you got married. You sign the paper, and you're like, what? Or she knocked someone out and signed the paper. Either way.
I was like, oh man,
I'm married to
she
you
doesn't
now.
like pizza.
I wish that would have happened on my first marriage. All yours, bud.
So Cena's back. He dropped a big one over the weekend in some podcasts about WWE and said, like, if they keep relying on these legends, the future does not look good for the WWE. So he's even dropping some truth knowledge on there. You've got your boy.
Yeah, Rollins versus Edge. I think most people are looking forward to that match over the rest of the card.
If you true wrestling fans, I think the rest of the card, that's better be the best match of the card.
Yeah, that should be a fun one, and that's a storyline 7 years in the making from when Rollins
wanted to bring back the Authority.
Yeah, and he threatened to break Edge's neck. Edge's recently repaired neck.
Look at the storyline there. The
He's
booking
going to
there.
curb stomp him.
Uh-oh.
So that'll be a fun one. I'm excited to see that one. You got
That's going to steal the show.
So
for sure.
we got another old guy wrestling, right?
Goldberg. Yep.
Not my guy.
Not my guy either.
Never was a fan of his. I
didn't mind the streak when it was going on in WCW. You know,
But that was
it gave
the
us
thing
something
about
else to
Goldberg.
talk about.
If you
something
give
in
Goldberg
NWO.
20 to 30 seconds,
go.
it's going to be the hottest 20 to 30 seconds on your card. If you ask him to go 5 to 10 minutes, 12 minutes, he can't do it.
Yeah.
He just can't do it. He doesn't have the storytelling skills to pull off a match that long.
What else do we have looking on there?
You got a women's championship match between Charlotte and Nikki Nikki Cross.
And Charlotte and Rhea Ripley's a part of that too. Isn't it a three-way triple threat match?
Yes, and Rhea Ripley is involved. That is a triple threat match.
Then you have AJ Styles and Omos are against RK Bro.
Okay.
Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I saw the.
Isn't there's a rumor that one of them's hurt? That's not going to happen.
Oh, I don't know.
There was reports about that yesterday. I read. That it's in jeopardy of happening.
Any chance we're going to see Mrs. Seth Rollins do anything this weekend?
I have no insider information on that.
You wouldn't share it if you did. I
certainly would not.
I do not like your rouge. Like I don't have it. You wouldn't share it if you did.
I would not. I would tell you nothing.
Yes.
The reports that she's going to be there, though. The reports are that she will be in there.
He's not going to
the
confirm or deny.
The hot report this week was that she was in the ring training at Black and Brave, and I was like, yeah. Like, what do you mean?
She has been.
Yeah, she's been here like every day for the past however many months, and they sent us a WWE ring 6 months ago. Who do you think was wrestling in it?
Yeah.
You know
I drive by there every day. I see him down there every now and then.
Like breaking news: wife wrestles in husband's wrestling ring at husband's wrestling school.
Who would have thought? Did not see that coming. New Day doing anything fun?
I don't know.
No,
that's on Saturday. Let's see, Saturday. I don't really have too much planned. I don't know if my Saturday night will be filled with that. And maybe it will be something I put off in the background later on that night. Friday is probably the big one that's circled, right?
That's the one that people are looking at right now.
I looked at tickets for that. There's no way I'm paying tickets for that to go see the AEW Rampage on Friday night. It was just like, to even get a decent seat, it was like $250.
Wow.
I'm not doing that.
That's incredible.
I'm not doing that at all.
People are saying that's going to be a big night for the business, huh?
So,
CM Punk.
Do you believe it, Adrian?
I think it's gonna happen. Why not have it there? Why not have it happen there?
I'm fine with it.
Merrick, last week you said that he was supposedly not available because he had to go do something for a movie. Yeah, he wasn't available for something on Friday because he had to do something for a movie premiere type of thing.
A movie premiere
that
in
happens
Chicago.
in Chicago.
Yeah.
Luckily, happens to be in Chicago.
Sure.
I will tell you this: I was never a big CM Punk guy. The pipe bomb was a great promo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get his tattoos. Maybe he is the best in the world. You give him all that money, you give him creative control. You're looking down the barrel of WCW. I'm telling you right now.
Could be a fun little ride though.
It'll be good. So it'll be another 83 weeks, and I'll be all there for it. And I tell you what, if you the professional wrestling needs something like this, if they want the shot in the arm to get after this and do this, they need something like this. And WWE needs this rivalry. And I'm telling you also, I believe this is all part of Vince McMahon's plan, not the NXT cuts. I have no idea what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing to his son-in-law, and in cutting the talent at NXT that he is, and trying to develop. From this is what I understand. And the next thing is that he's trying to develop basically a Marvel comic universe, an MCU. He wants to create characters, and that would be him going back to the mid '80s when he was creating characters that were like comic guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if he's making that step backwards or if what's going on in the mind of his, but I don't think wasn't it you that said maybe I'll just give him more, that Vince said after they were signing everybody.
Yeah, definitely what he said.
Yeah, so I do think if you look at if history repeats itself, and we'll start in 1996 when the WCW was signing all these people and they were giving him control, and then all this talent was buried, the up and comers. Like your Jerichos and everything else. There's plenty of talent in AEW that could get buried, like your Darbys and MJF, right?
Yep.
And they might get just stuck in the storylines, and they may just want to go to other pastures. And nobody, I'll ask you this. You have a new class coming in every so often, but quite a bit.
Couple weeks, we start right back up.
And I'm pretty sure when you guys break the ice first day or whatever else, what are your goals? How many of them say, I want to be an AEW star?
We have plenty of students who watch AEW and are fans of the product.
I would hope so.
But to your point, not a single student has ever said, my dream goal is to make it to AEW.
And that's what's going to happen. Because it's not going to be like, well, I'm loyal only to AEW. You're not. The stings are few and far between. And that's what's going to happen. That they're going to be like, I'm ready to go up to the Northeast. So
CM Punk coming back to wrestling is a good thing for wrestling. I'll be excited to welcome him back. I was a big CM Punk fan, even when he was on the independent scene. Myself and Crotch and some of our other buddies, we used to drive 6 hours one way just to watch one CM Punk match on an independent show in front of 50 fans. And spend the 6-hour ride home talking about how awesome it was. So
cool.
And that was long before he ever signed with WWE. Nobody had any clue he would ever, get to do that. People just didn't do that back in the day. So seeing his WWE run was fun as well. He's older now. Is he as athletic? Who knows? Does he need to be as athletic? Probably not. But I think we can get some good things out of this. And it's, for the younger generation, like when Shawn Michaels came back after his 4-year hiatus after his back injury, when he came back in 2002, that was, amazing to me. So for the younger generation, this is probably a very similar feel to them getting one of their favorites, CM Punk, to come back after all these years.
Yeah, I remember that. When Shawn Michaels came back, I barely knew who the guy was.
That's incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he had been my favorite wrestler probably since like 1992. Yeah. So at that point, I was craving me some HBK matches, and he came back and was stellar.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Punk can do the same.
I don't even remember those 4 years and being gone.
I do.
That's the craziest thing about it. But
well,
then,
you don't remember him being gone because those were some hot 4 years. You know, you had DX minus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
You had WCW folding. You had the invasion angle. You had the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin. You had the rise of The Rock. There was plenty of things going on to
the ministry with the Undertaker going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that kept your mind off of Shawn Michaels being missing, but not me. I was sad every day.
Well, I mean, I was happy when he came back. I'm a fan of his. Always have been, even back to his rocker days. I guess not really, but I mean, I remember them when they were in AWA.
Yeah,
and just same thing as I remember Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall back then. But that's me dating myself. SummerSlam will be this weekend. Should be interesting. Does this? Let's just put it to you. I'm going to ask you this then, Merrick. As because it's one of the big four, has it made you kind of pay attention a little bit more? Because I know you and I and sometimes Adrian too, when we talk about it, like, yeah, we catch it. You know, it's not like it's must watch or anything like that, or it's not even like must read recaps right now.
I wouldn't say I've been watching the programs religiously, but I have been keeping up with the storylines on Twitter and whatnot, and just I will make sure. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch SummerSlam live because we have an event at the exact same time, but I'll certainly catch up on it the next day.
Will you watch it, Adrian? No. That's a hard no for you.
Saturday. I got other things going on.
That's the only thing.
I'm actually probably going to be at the show. I'm
Fantastic.
Try to be over there.
It'll be a fun night.
Yeah, and that's enough on that. Like I
just not live. I might.
Yeah,
I might scroll through the finishes as I'm laying in bed later that night.
That's what I'm talking about. Like if I put it on, I'll put it on the Peacock channel later on at night.
Peacock for that reason.
Yeah,
anyway,
put it on in the background type of thing. Okay, we did say this, and we're going to talk about it. We're into the season. It's starting. It's right around the corner. Anyone's doing it. Have you done any mock drafts?
I've done one mock draft.
Okay,
it was just all right. I feel like after like the first 5 rounds of mock drafts on ESPN, everybody just bails real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets boring, so I bail too.
Usually I do mock drafts for about 4 to 5 months leading up to the season. Fantasy baseball kind of took my attention away from that this year, but over the past month I've really ramped up my activity, so I feel like I have a solid strategy right now going into my draft.
Have you done a draft yet?
Nope. I am only in. Well, I think I'm in 2 leagues. I don't know what's going on with this celebrity league we're doing.
You didn't get an email from DJ?
I didn't get an email. No.
All right, I'll let you know. You should have gotten an email, or at least you're in a league or whatever else. I forget what division you're in.
I don't know when the draft is. I don't know none of that stuff.
He just reminded me.
September 5th or something?
Yeah, he just reminded me yesterday. I got to get signed up.
Yeah, so September 5th, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
I have a problem saying no, so I'm just in like 5 leagues now.
Okay. I used to be in like 3 or 4 different leagues, but I scaled it back to 1 so I could focus my attention on that and not go crazy.
So we're trying to figure out our leagues. Like I said, we're always in an auction one that's pretty. It's pretty high price in there for a reason because we want people to take it seriously. And then we have a keeper, but because of like COVID and not knowing anything, we actually threw everybody back in last year, and we don't have any keepers. So as much as I'm against redraft leagues, this is a brand new type of thing. So look out. Who's the guy I'm looking for from the Chargers? Joshua Brown. Is that it? What's his name? The receiver?
I forget.
The guy that everyone's pointing at or whatever else. Or look out Marvin Jones Jr. from Jacksonville. Or Stafford from 49ers. And who's coming? Who's the guy that's supposed to be... Wait a minute. Is that... Who's the running back down the Dolphins?
Myles Gaskin.
No. He's...
Savon Ahmed.
That's the guy.
Savon Ahmed.
That's the one that they say is going to be the real deal.
Well, joint practices with the Falcons this morning. He caught a 45-yard touchdown bomb from Tua.
Keep that name on there. So
Wheel route up the right.
I was listening to a show on the way home on Sirius XM, not listening to ESPN on the way home. I was not a company man. And they were talking about doing like the over-under of Myles Gaskins for yards, and they were like, take the under. And they brought up that guy, and they're like, that's going to be the guy.
He's fast.
Yep.
And he catches a lot of balls, too. So if you're not getting the receptions from Gaskin, because that was really where most of his points came from last season, and the Dolphins' offensive line is in shambles right now, so the running game's not going to be that good. But if Ahmed's taking away Gaskin's receptions, then yeah, stay away from Gaskin at his ADP right now, and you can get Ahmed probably in the 13th or 14th round. So that's your your steal right there.
That's why you listen to the show. All right, so when now talking about the draft, obviously, Adrian, you're in a draft that's going to be have a lot more Bears fans, so it's not as hard. There's going to be a reach for Bears, but when you do yours, and is your draft online or is yours in person?
We used to do it in person, but we're all old now, so online.
Because no one can get away from their kids and family or whatever else. Mm-hmm. So you don't have that anymore. How many times when you were in person were the people like, oh, Dolphins,
all the time.
Who's still out there? Because if you're in a draft, you have to be like, who's still out there. If it's an auction, then they just bring up the name and then stare at you and just be like, yeah.
It was really easy for me to decline all Dolphins players over the past decade or so, though.
Yeah, for
there's
trades
actually
or whatever else.
one other guy in my league is a Dolphins fan, which is unique for this area. So he actually usually takes the Dolphins players before I would have a chance to. But again, over the past 10 years, I've been fine with that. This year, there's a couple sneaky Dolphins I got my eyes on.
The tight end's not bad.
Gesicki, kind of mid-round tight end option there. If you can pair him with somebody else, I'd love to pair Gesicki and like Robert Tonyan together. I think that's an awesome duo. Ahmed, we talked about. I think Jalen Waddle's going to have a lot of reception. So if you're in a PPR league and you want a late-round wide receiver that's going to get you some decent PPR points there, Waddle might be your guy.
I have a little bit of a question for you, which is kind of like off fantasy football, but with fantasy football. So we do our 14-team live draft every year. I like live drafts. They're a lot of fun. We're still, a lot of us know kids, and we can get together and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out a way to get the draft order picked by not just picking out of a hat.
Who can eat the most hard-boiled eggs in 10 minutes?
It's a lot of eggs.
Cool hand, Luke.
It's a lot of eggs.
Because I say no man. Did you see the thing on TikTok where the guy created he made it look like every single person in their fantasy league, and they went to WWE 2K19 or something like that, and they made a Royal Rumble, and it auto-generated the draft. And so when they came out, it came out looking like them, and they had an entrance, and they had music and everything. So it would be like Shawn Michaels, but it looked like you, and that was your draft order.
I do not have enough time for that.
I do not have enough time for it either, but it was awesome.
That's
Can
great.
you imagine you're just with all your buddies or whatever else, and that's what you get to see? It just comes up, and no one knows the order or anything like that?
Oh, my God. That'd be amazing.
Here's what I suggest. I've got this for you. Mm-hmm. If you're in a redraft league.
Yep.
Here's what you do after the draft. There's 14 of you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that means there's 32 teams in the NFL, so 14. Okay. At the end of the draft, you do another type of draft, and I can help you with the order because it can't be snake or whatever, and you draft most wins in the teams in the NFL. All right. So basically, and then however the order comes out of that, the next year, that's your draft order. Whoever wins it. Okay. That way, every year you have do something like that. That it also adds a little bit to your draft day, and then the draft order has to be mixed up. And I've done this type of thing before, most wins draft, but I always think it's a good idea to do that because then next year in a redraft, it's not like, well, this person ended last or anything like that. It changes all the time.
No, we have the exact same people, so I thought about just doing it based off last year and just saying, hey, you finished last, you get first pick this year, but. Also, I got second, so let me pick 13th.
But you could also do it you could also treat it like a lottery. I mean, there's got to be someone that has like an at-home bingo thing or whatever else.
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that?
There's absolutely an app.
That sounds boring, though. Do you know how fun that is, though, to actually have that? Like, the person who got last got more lottery. There's an app that actually can do that?
I would almost guarantee there's an app or a website for that.
Matt Erickson on the Facebook page says the best one he's heard is $10 worth of tokens at Chuck E. Cheese. And the amount of tickets won determines the draft order.
That's pretty great.
I'm 100% behind that.
Try not to get shot.
Yeah. Well, then you can also go up to TBK and do that as well. That's and then go donate to whatever kids that's waiting in line after you guys do all that stuff. Give the tickets to the kids that are sitting there. I think that's a great idea, though. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. Now the thing is that leads to the next question, though. Where do you like to draft at? Do you want one overall? Because what if you start throwing it off when you realize...
I think it changes every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this year, and I'm really comfortable with anywhere between like pick 5 and pick 8, because I think that's where my strategy... All right, I'm going to give it out. So if you're in my league, turn your radio off right now. Come on, be honest. my strategy is you have to go running back rounds 1 and round 2. And if you can go running back round 3, running back 1, 2, 3. Because the top end running backs die off so quickly this year compared to years past. Not as many sleepers as years past. You can kind of get receivers anywhere, so not as important. And tight ends actually much deeper this year than it has been in years past. Same with quarterback. The one position where there are fewer top end running backs who aren't in a committee, that's it. It's running back.
Yep.
You got to go running back round 1, 2, and if you can, go running back round 3. And that's, if you can get somebody like a J.K. Dobbins round 3, that's not a bad one. I'm decently high on Darrell Henderson, although their rookie, what's his name, Xavier something, Xavier Brown maybe is getting a lot of buzz out in LA for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can go rounds 1, 2, and 3, grab your running back, and then watch everybody else scramble and reach on running backs that they're, oh man, I didn't get a running back, I have to take this guy now. Then they're going to push those better receivers, tight ends, and quarterbacks
right to you,
back to you.
Yep.
When you come back around in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. And that's just my strategy.
I completely agree with you.
That's a good strategy.
And like you said, right around 5 through 10, depending how many teams are in your league, that's right where I feel comfortable.
Yeah, if you have pick 5 or 6, you can probably get a Zeke Elliott or an Alvin Kamara, and then
I'll get Nick Chubb.
Yeah, and then you can come back around in the 2nd round, and you're right in the middle of the pack again. And you're never. I like being in the middle because you're never caught on the back end of a run. If you're pick 12 and then you get pick 12 and 13 in a 12-team league and it's a snake draft, then all of a sudden, you grabbed a running back and a receiver, you got to wait 23, 24 more picks until you're up again. And in those 24 picks, running backs start going boop, 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 boop. And by the time you're around, you're like, man, I shouldn't have taken a wide receiver here. There's plenty of wide receivers that are left. I should have just taken 2 running backs. But you never want to get caught on the opposite end of a run. So I like picking in the middle of a round because when you snake back around, you're right back in the middle again.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's good advice, and I actually more than likely will follow that strategy because my strategy never works anyway. So it's not any good. Is there any? Let's say your second quarterback that you're taking. You're in a 1 quarterback league. Is there any quarterbacks that you're taking that you're looking to that might not be the first name that jumps off anyone's radar?
Not to sound like a homer, but I think Tua's in a good situation this year with all those weapons that were added, and you can get Tua in 2nd to last round of a draft right now, and then pairing him with somebody like a Ben Roethlisberger or a Baker Mayfield, that should keep you relatively safe. I think Tua has a lot of upside this year. I don't know. I think a lot of people were feeling good about maybe Dak Prescott in round 5, 6, 7 before his shoulder gave out on him a little bit. So you might, as long as that checks out okay, you might even be able to get him at a deal because the Cowboys offense with Dak should be fantastic this year. With those 3 receivers, you got a slimmer Zeke Elliott in there. Offensive line is healthy once again. I think that's going to be a great offense. So and again, before your draft, check out the news, see what the reports are on Dak's shoulder. I know there was a report today that he's going to practice today, do some very light throwing. So no indication that this is going to be a major injury, so you might even be able to get him at a discount now. So I do like Dak this year.
I don't know if this is a hot take at all, and I don't know how many people would support this decision, but I think Jalen Hurts has more fantasy points than Lamar Jackson this year.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think Lamar makes it through the year without an injury or without a COVID problem, and I think Jalen Hurts is...
Isn't that another layer of this fantasy season that you have to take a look at? Which of these players are vaccinated and which aren't?
It's
It
true.
really is, yeah.
Because the rules for vaccinated players are different. So
Mhm.
if you're vaccinated and you get COVID, all you need is 2 negative tests within a 24 to 48 hour period, and you're allowed back at practice. If you're unvaccinated and you test positive, you are out for a minimum 10 days. No ifs, and, or buts. You're done. 10 days, you're gone. But if you test positive and you're vaccinated and 3 days later you get 2 negative tests, welcome back. That's going to keep people who are vaccinated from missing games.
Is there going to be a thing that to get the booster shot we need to look at too? What if someone has reluctance, like, hey, I've already, like, let's just say, and I'm not saying he has or anything like that, but you have Bears Jimmy Graham, who has come out and been like, I've followed all the rules, and now if they come out and they say, hey, you got to get the booster to be able to have this, do you think there might be pushback? And I guess I shouldn't say think that. I'm recklessly speculating, but there could be a possibility that this happens.
Sure.
And it's going to affect your team just as well.
Obviously, COVID affects everything, NFL or not, but we're talking about NFL right now, so it's going to affect those players. And you're right, there may be some players like Jimmy Graham who felt like he was coerced into getting the vaccine when he didn't want to, and now maybe he doesn't want to get the booster shot. And let's say he was vaccinated in April. They're saying booster shots are needed within 8 months, right? So that puts us right at fantasy playoff time.
That's true.
So you might want to, I don't know if this information's out there, if you're able to check on some news sites or whatever, but see, hey, if this guy's really important to my team, maybe I'll just double check, make sure he's vaccinated before I snag him.
Yeah. And also, Adrian, what you're saying, I was hearing yesterday, I think it was on the Pat McAfee show, that another beat writer for Philadelphia was saying that Hurts has that locker room. They love him.
Really?
His leadership. Yeah,
No.
So that's a good thing when you have the team.
Yeah,
Not to say Lamar Jackson doesn't in Baltimore,
no.
but there's going to be some things. There's going to be some guys that are like, hey, why aren't you vaccinated? He's like, I don't know. I got to talk to team doctors. They're like, this guy's crazy. He's had COVID twice. But yeah, that Jalen Hurts.
It's nice to have the support of everybody around you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about this the other day. For some reason, in my head, because I love garbage time quarterbacks, like Trevor Lawrence is a garbage time quarterback.
Yeah, you know who's going to be a good quarterback, and you can get in the later rounds right now is Matthew Stafford.
Are you sure?
In the Rams offense?
No, I mean, are you sure you can get him later?
You can. Yeah.
He's like
on ESPN mock drafts right now.
Everybody's hopping on the guys that run.
Yeah,
okay.
More mobile.
On ESPN mock drafts right now, you can get him in probably about the 10th round.
Okay.
Real cheap.
The other one that I know, CBSSports.com was talking about this, and they were talking about that Justin Herbert's going way too high at QB4.
Yeah, I think so too. Second season, they're going to be a better team, so they might not need to throw as much, and they might not be down as often.
I kind of think there's going to be a step back there too.
He
Could be.
8 out of the, what was it, something like 8 out of his first 9 games or 10 games, he threw multiple touchdowns, and then he only did 3 out of his last 6. Multiple touchdown passes.
I mean, that's what happens in the NFL. They get tape on you. They get the book on you, and then they know how to beat you, and you have to figure out how to counter those defenses, and we'll see if he can do it.
Where are you? Do you think Joe Burrows is being drafted at all?
Do you think he will be drafted at all? Is he worth being drafted? Yeah, maybe like late round flyer. Again, if you need to pair him with somebody who you're worried about, maybe you get one of those running quarterbacks and you're nervous that he's going to get injured because he's a running guy. So maybe you snag a Joe Burrow. He's not on my radar. Yeah. Just the recent reports with he's not fully back from the knee injury. He's a little gun shy in the pocket when there's any, pass rush in his face. He kind of crumbles a little bit right now, and he's just kind of heaving the ball up to nowhere. He did have a decent day yesterday in red zones from what I saw, but you got to get to the red zone before you can start throwing passes in it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. That offensive line is really, going to be their Achilles heel, and they did not address it. They had every opportunity at the beginning of the draft to draft somebody like a Penei Sewell, and they went with Jamar Chase instead because that's who Burrow wanted. So.
Which I also hear Jamar Chase is having a bad time getting separation in practice.
Yep, I actually wrote an article about that on the Finsider, and Bengals fans came for my throat. But yeah, he hasn't been getting a lot of separation. He did have 3 touchdowns in red zone yesterday.
On this list, who do you draft? Who do you don't? I don't care. You can rank them if you want to. No, just looking at the rookies. Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones.
I'm not drafting anyone except for possibly Trevor Lawrence in the late rounds as a backup quarterback if I feel like I need one. I'm not a big backup quarterback guy. I almost exclusively only draft one quarterback because hopefully, knock on wood, if he stays healthy, you're going to start that guy all year long
and
anyway.
Then that 1 week you're just going to...
But some people in my league, and sometimes it works to their advantage, they draft 2 really good quarterbacks and then they can get a haul for one of the other ones, for a team that either missed out or maybe their quarterback gets injured. I had a guy one year who had Mahomes and Lamar Jackson on his team, and he just got to pick which one do I want to trade, and he ended up, I think he traded Mahomes, and he got back some incredible players.
You've got to have a trade happy league or whatever else. What about you, Adrian?
Same answer.
Yep.
None of those guys will be on my team drafted wise. Come bye week, if one of them's playing, I might pick them up. I'm, again, like he said, I'm one of the people that just like one quarterback. I don't want that decision. I don't want that hard decision come week. Then all of a sudden I lose by 2 points, and my other quarterback scored 3 more points than one of them. Even though they both scored over 30. Yeah.
Yeah. I to your point, Jay, I am in a league where there are lots of trades. Almost every week there's at least one, 2, 3 trades. We trade all the time because I love trading, and I'm the commissioner, so I kind of stress that on people. Hey, let's just have fun. Trading is fun. Maybe the funnest thing you can do in fantasy, in my opinion, besides winning. But
all right, we're gonna wrap it up. Listen, this weekend you're gonna be at the Beer Stube on Friday at CW Pro.
Yes,
on
sir.
Saturday night you'll be at Lopez, right, for their 2-year anniversary.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for your time coming in today.
I'll be here whenever you need.
Yep, we'll take a look at what's going on Friday because we're not going to be here on tomorrow because the Chicago White Sox. Adrian, Friday we're in. Tentatively. We'll talk about it. It's not
I got the Redneck Open.
Oh.
So I
go do the Redneck Open.
Well, it gets on about noon. So
go do the Redneck Open. We'll figure it out. I'll figure some out. I'll talk to Merrick, see if he's free or whatever. So go do the Redneck Open.
Let me know.
Yeah. All right, you guys enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities. We'll see you guys on Friday. Take care.